Hera, the queen of all gods, the one to be seated by the side of Zeus, the king of the gods, and share his authority, and to be the highest in command, rule, and respect, second only to Zeus himself. If you like content such as these, you should like and subscribe to the channel, as there are more to come. Hera, the queen of Olympus, was one of the 6 original Olympians, being the daughter of the titan Cronus and Rhea. Just after her birth, she was swallowed by her father Cronus, along with the siblings, all except Zeus. Later, Zeus rescued all his siblings, and they formed the formidable alliance of the Olympic gods. The Olympians would go to overthrow Cronus and the Titans, establishing their rule, and as Zeus set his authority as king, Hera was chosen as the queen by Zeus. Hera is portrayed as a beautiful woman, seated on a golden throne wearing a golden crown. She is seen holding a scepter with a lotus or pomegranate on top depending on the sources. The domains that Hera had authority over was marriage, women, childbirth and home protection, which is an ironic fact when you will learn that a big part of her role in Greek mythology is to brutally punish mortal women. Her sacred symbols include scepter, lotus, diadem with the association of sacred animals like peacock, cow, and sometimes even lions. Although a goddess of women and childbirth, Hera was sometimes associated with fertility, wealth, and even the sky. Hera was considered one of the most beautiful goddesses in all of Mount Olympus, with only Athena, goddess of war and wisdom, and Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty, being comparable to her. And even though she was only referred as the goddess of women and marriage, she had some authority over the skies as well. One day when Zeus saw Hera shaping the clouds in the sky, her immense beauty struck Zeus, as he decided only a woman of such divine authority and heavenly beauty is fit to be his wife. Thus Zeus approached Hera with the proposal of marrying her, but of course Hera rejected his advances regarding the fact that Zeus had a womanizer reputation. Zeus would consistently pursue Hera for a long time before coming up with a trick. One day, Zeus created a powerful storm, transforming himself into a cuckoo, flying helplessly as if he was trying to flee from the storm. This would set up the stage for Hera to be tricked, as she saw a cuckoo trying to escape the violent storm. She would grab the bird and embrace it, trying to rescue it, as Zeus would reveal himself and mate with her according to the plan. Hera and Zeus would end up marrying each other, as the most prestigious marriage of all would take place, where every god in the entire universe would attend this marriage. Together they had several children, the most notable of them all being the arrogant, powerful, and the destructive god of war, Eris. Eris was the catastrophic deity that personified the destructions of the war, alongside Eris, a daughter of Zeus and Hera. Eris was also a goddess of discord and destruction, but there are some contradictions, as many accounts suggest that she is the daughter of Nyx, the goddess of night. Hebe was also a daughter of Zeus and Hera, and was simply referred as the goddess of youth. Another son of Hera, which would be a weird example in this case, was Hephaestus, god of forge. Hephaestus was the son of Hera, and was not fathered by Zeus. Rather, he was not fathered by anyone, as Hera created him by her own. In my video about Athena, I've discussed how Zeus fathered Athena, as she came out of Zeus's head, full grown. This daughter of Zeus was perfect in every way, from beauty to talent, skills, bravery, intellect, wisdom, and battle prowess. Jealous of the act that Zeus was able to give birth to Athena by himself without the assistance of Hera, she tried to do the same, as she thought of showing Zeus that if he is capable of fathering a daughter all by himself, Hera, as the queen of the gods, is also able to mother a son all by herself, and this son would be Hephaestus. Although her efforts would not be successful, as the child that was born due to the single birth was full of deformities, far from the beauty and perfection of Athena. This imperfection of the child was unacceptable by Hera, as she couldn't accept her own failure and was disgusted by the child's ugliness. And in an act to hide her failure and humiliation in front of Zeus, she secretly threw Hephaestus out of Olympus. Yes, not an act for an ideal mother. Perhaps that is the reason that even though Zeus was called the father of men and gods, Hera isn't once referred as the mother to men gods, but simply the wife of Zeus. Although being married to Zeus makes her the queen of Olympus, giving her one of the most highest authority, the marriage has its own fair share of downside. Zeus, as we all know, is a famous womanizer and commits adultery on Hera. Even though being married to her, he had countless affairs with other goddesses and mortal women like Leto, Castia, Danae, Alcmene, and more that resulted in the birth of many gods and demigods. This is of course an act that Hera will not tolerate, and she can say anything to Zeus, being the strongest and higher authority than her. Thus it's the poor mortal women and their children that became the target of Hera's vengeance. Oftentimes she would curse the woman that sleeps with Zeus or throw every possible punishment to Zeus's bastard children. A famous example of this would be Hercules, the demigod son of Zeus and Alcmene, who was driven mad by Hera. One day when Hercules was returning home, Hera's magic struck him and he killed his own wife and children, and when he returned to his senses, only to realize that he killed his own family, he went on a deep depression. But this wasn't always the case, as in some scenarios, she was the helper of heroes, like aiding Jason and his Argonauts in his adventures. She has a highly prominent role in Greek mythology, as she is involved in several myths related to Zeus, the battle against titans and giants, and even the Trojan War. She is one character that in most stories, ironically, is portrayed as a jealous and vengeful woman, despite being a goddess of marriage and women.